Hello, lovely people. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate that you spending the time to be with me, connect with me, and be inspired and to take some action to to get the life of your dreams. That's why the title of this video, 6 Ways to Kickstart Your Dream Life. Pretty much is what I'm doing in my own life as an example, and you can apply what I've done to your own life and turn it around. I want to give you some really nitty-gritty things that help you get started. So, point 1, put yourself where you want to be. In my case, it all started, if you want to go back to the quarantine, where I started to open up to the fact that I wasn't where I wanted to be. In this case, I was living in a big city. I've lived in big cities pretty much all my life, in 2 big cities, in Sydney, Australia, where I was born for the first 40 odd years, and Buenos Aires, capital of Argentina, another big city here in South America, and came to the realization, thanks to the quarantine, I'm really happy that there was a lockdown. I'm really happy that we couldn't go to the local park to walk the dog, for my son to play outside. I'm really glad all those things happened, because if that hadn't happened, it wouldn't have kicked me out of the city. Well, there's a lot of things to that story. The second stage of that was doing a juice fast for over 3 months, which was more of a spiritual awakening for me than just cleaning out my body and connecting to my soul purpose, which is what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'm really excited, and I'm really happy that you've joined and interested to find out what things help me and what's going to help you. So yeah, what I'm talking about there in the quarantine was just being uncomfortable in the city environment with all the noises, all the traffic, and no peace, no calm, no connection to nature, and really realizing that if you looked at my previous video about the house build, this was a house I built in the city of Buenos Aires, and how that was so not aligned with what I wanted, with what my soul was calling to me to do all my life, and that is to live in nature, live simply, build a sustainable home, grow my own food, grow fruit trees, that kind of thing. I guess you get the point of what I'm trying to say here. And my point 1, the whole point of putting yourself where you want to be. Look, I don't know if you can see clearly behind me, but I'm staying in a little cabin where, okay, I'm not, I wasn't comfortable. What I'm saying is, it's okay to put yourself in a space of being uncomfortable if it means that you're going to have to call in all your creativity to solve the problem, which is the challenge, the problem, which is how to live your dream life. And so how to do that, step 1, is going to where you want to be. In this case, I'm going to show you, there's my truck in the foreground, and I'm going to show you outside, which is the window mountain, Sierra de la Ventana, here in the south of the province of Buenos Aires. You can see a little bit of the mountain there. It wraps around also to the back of the house, but well, you get my point. You need to be where you want to be. Put yourself where you want to be. And by putting yourself where you want to be, you start to feel more aligned already, even though you've got a lot of things that you want to achieve. You'll start to feel, you'll start to vibrate, you'll start to have the frequency in your body that you need to get on this connection with your soul purpose, which is your dream life. It's the thing that eludes a lot of people, and it's something that I'm here to teach you how to do. So I hope that makes sense. It's okay to put yourself in a position of being uncomfortable. When I first came here, the mattress was old and crummy, and I got a sore back sleeping on the bed. I started to sleep on an inflatable camping mattress that I bought, and isolation mat underneath that, just on the bed base, just something simple to solve the problem. Then I eventually went back to the city, some 6 hours drive away, and came back with my mattress in the back of my new truck. So now I have a comfortable night's sleep, but it's a simple cabin. It's basic, but what I love about it is I'm just immersed in nature, as I showed you just before, the shot of the mountain. So it's really open space. Most of the land here is larger than your standard quarter acre or 1,000 square metre block that you would be used to in a residential setup in a city or in the surrounding suburbs of cities. They mostly don't have too large blocks. It's pretty unusual, the closer you get to the big cities, to have a large block of land. The one that I had, and the house that I've just sold, I had 200 square meters of land, which was, there you go. So here in San Andres de la Sierra, which is a tiny little town in the Window Mountain, the Sierra de la Ventana, here in the south of province of Buenos Aires. It's probably would be a few hundred permanent inhabitants. The neighbours are spaced out, so you see just grassland, mountains in the distance. You have spectacular sunsets. The stars are unbelievable at night. It's like a Milky Way just about every night here. So this is where I want to be. I want to be in a place that gives me peace, puts me in that state of vibrating at a higher level, where I'm achieving my dream life. I'm doing what I really wanted to do all along for years. I've had this thing about doing that project that I just told you about, having a sustainable house, growing my own food, that kind of thing. You get the idea. So my point 2, connect with the things you love. Well, I started to do that here. It's now February here, so it's still coming to the end of the summer months here in the southern hemisphere. And I came down here in October and stayed in a nearby little tourist town called Vichaventana, Window Village would be the translation into English. It's different to San Andres de la Sierra. It's has like a lot of pine trees that were planted intentionally to create the feeling of being in a forest of trees. It was a planned subdivision of a farm. I'm thinking it would have been probably about 70 years ago, possibly more. So 70 years would have been 1950s. And it is stuck right in the middle of farmland. So there's estancias, camper farms surrounding this village. And again, you have access to the mountains right there. The same mountain range, but it's just about 15 kilometres away from where I am here in San Andres, about a 20-minute drive in the car. And so what happened when I arrived there in Vichaventana in October, I was staying in a cabin, different to this one because it was there was about 4 cabins in the plot of land where I was staying. The land sizes there are more your standard size blocks, so you find sort of 600 to 1,000 square meters blocks. They're kind of eighth of an acre to quarter acre if you want to put it in the imperial measurement. So it's more standard size blocks. So you do have your neighbour side by side you, which is not to my preference, but I fell in love with the place. There's an energy about Vishaventana that I can't actually put in words. It's there's an energy, there's a vibrance. It's kind of a mix between forest, farm, and mountain, and that X factor, which, as I said, I can't really describe to you. You have to actually go there and feel it. It's an energy, it's a vibration that's something just happy. It's a great place to be. The people say hello to you as they pass you by. Things that just don't have a price, which I love about this kind of life. You can leave your front door open, your key in your car, your bike in the park. In this case, nobody steals it. It's quite a different life. Everybody knows everybody, and you don't really have to move too far to enjoy yourself, to get out in nature. For example, the planning of the suburb was surrounded by little creeks, arroyos in Spanish. And these little creeks, you can just go for walks along, take your dog. It's you can see nature, wild animals appear. These little animals that burrow under the earth, kind of like wombats, but topa, I think they're called in Spanish. Anyway, and of course cows and horses, wild horses even. I think there's wild horses. There's definitely foxes, wild foxes, and other wild animals. Lots of birds, variety of birds. In fact, the streets are named, just about all the streets are named after birds, and native birds to the region, the south province of Buenos Aires, here in Argentina. So connecting to the things I love, in that suburb, October and November, I stayed there for 2 months. I started out, my son was doing pottery. So I thought, sounds great. I've never done pottery in my life. And so I went along to a class with him to accompany him and to enjoy it myself too. And in fact, I love it. I've got a couple of bowls sitting in the cabinet here, in the cabin. If you can see them. Yeah, so they're 2 bowls. They're the first 2 bowls I ever did in pottery. The lines are like a arcoiris, stars, and forget the word in English. Isn't that funny? I'm going to have to start doing videos. Rainbow. Ha! Isn't that funny? When you're 20 years speaking in a foreign language, you start to lose your native language, native words. So arcoiris is rainbow. So the lines represent the rainbow, and the 2 stars together, the stars of the sky. It's something, and the colour is kind of aqua blue, one of my favourite colours. Anyways, you can see it turned out great for my first effort at doing a bowl. So I can't recommend enough that you start to do things that you love. In this case, for me, I didn't know I was going to love it, but I do know that I love working with my hands. I'm really creative. I've had as a adolescent growing up, and primary years and adolescence, I did a lot of music, played a lot of instruments, sang, and all that kind of stuff. And I've always enjoyed making things with my hands, working with wood, that kind of thing, although I haven't done a lot. Actually, during the quarantine, I made a kitchen island bench top with cabinet underneath, sort of drawers and doors to store things in the kitchen, to sort of make the kitchen work a bit better than it was in the apartment where we were. So I guess what I'm trying to say is pick something for you that you think you're going to love. Think something, it may be something you haven't thought about, or it may be something that you've put off doing. In my case, I stopped a lot of my music as I finished high school and started going to university and working full time and had a car, and sort of everything changed, and I forced myself. This is a big lesson. Don't force yourself, because when you force it, it never works. I forced myself to try and fit into the box, into the normal career. If you're a Life Path 11, you'll relate to exactly what I'm saying, because as 11s, we just don't fit into the box at all. So I really hope this helps you to realize that you don't have to fit in any boxes. You're unique, and your path to your dream life, to connecting with your soul purpose, and to find a fulfilling life, is to listen to the urgings of that little voice, which is in fact a very powerful, essential part of you, which is just crying to get out, wants to get out and express itself. There is the disconnect. That's where you're going to find your true freedom and happiness. So that's point 2, connect with the things you love. Number 3, don't overthink things. This is especially relevant for Life Path 11s, but everyone falls into this trap of procrastination and overthinking, overanalyzing, and not taking action. Well, I guess I gave you some keys here how to bypass that. One way is to work with someone, to be mentored. I'm a mentor. If you're looking for a mentor, you can work with me one-on-one. That's one way. That's one of the things I love doing, helping other people to find their soul purpose, their mission, their dream life, why they're here, what makes them happy. It can be tricky, but you have to be prepared to go and look inside, get uncomfortable, get messy, and just experiment with things until you find the thing that you really like to do. So yeah, don't overthink. Get into action, and just perhaps think on those things that you've perhaps put aside for a long time, that you've thought, yeah, if I had the time, I'd really like to do that thing or this thing, or you just noticed that you like drawing or something as a kid or whatever it was. Pay attention and start to experiment. Try new things. Be prepared to not like something. That's okay. It's no problem at all. You need to get messy and try different things, as I said. So yeah, that's point 3. Don't overthink things. Really important. Point 4, call in your guides. What do I mean by that? This is where you're connecting with yourself, because we're spiritual beings by nature. Calling in your guides, connect to yourself. Just take a deep breath, breathe in through your heart, and hold the breath a few seconds and breathe out. Helps you to relax, helps you to connect to yourself, helps to connect to your higher self, to your essence, to your soul, and your guides. They're here to help you. Your ancestral connections, all those things, the totem animals, whatever you like to call it, that part of you that is divine, your divinity, believe it or not, is inside you. And the way to call on that is to do these kind of breathing exercises every day. Okay, so that's point 4, call in the guides. I'm just looking at my notes over here on the computer while I'm talking. Point number 5, get sun exposure every day. So it's really important to realize what it is about the sun and the earth. The sun is the source of energy. It's the source of, it's the life force in this planet. It's actually how we derive our nutrition and energy. Life force comes from the sun. For any of you that are vegan and eat raw food like me, you're basically eating a plant form of food that is a result of exposure to the sun. So when you expose your body to the sun, you're doing pretty much the same as eating fruits and vegetables that were also grown as a product of being exposed to the sun. So there you can see the analogy. There you can see how the plants get their energy, their vitality, their growth from the sun. And we as humans too get our energy, our vitality, and our nutrition from the sun, the elements, the air, the wind, nature, just being in nature. And that brings me to my last point number 6. Get immersed, immerse yourself in nature as much as you can. Here where I am in sort of farmland under the mountains, with peace, very few people, and the people that are here usually say g'day, hola, how are you, which is quite rare if you live in a big city. By immersing yourself in nature, it's like the best cure. The animals know that. It calms your nervous system down. You feel more connected just by being with the trees, being with the grass, being under the stars, feeling the wind through your body, feeling the sun on your body, being in the elements, the rain, the water that comes from the sky. All this is just ways to get yourself vibrating and your nervous system calm down, where you can actually start to resonate with that purpose, with that dream life that is there waiting, tucked inside of you. It's an inside job, as they say. Look, I hope today's video was really helpful. If you like this video, you can like it, subscribe to my channel to listen to more videos like this one. I really hope that you took something valuable away with you today, just by recapping. So I gave you 6 points, how to kickstart your dream life. I really want that for you. It's what I'm doing. I've turned 60 in October last year, and I just was determined to leave no stone unturned to achieve that, to have my dream life, to be on my sole purpose, on my mission here on planet Earth. So those 6 points, just to repeat as a recap. Point number 1, put yourself where you want to be. That's the key, because your creativity just automatically gets activated as soon as you're out where you want to be. You start to think of the solutions. You start to create ideas, and you start to be in motion into that new identity, which is this dream life that you're after. So point 2, connect to the things you love. I gave the example of doing something that I'd never tried in my life, and that was pottery, and I absolutely loved it. Doing something with my own hands, putting my own creativity, coming up with a design myself and the color myself, with the help of an excellent teacher here, was just something magical. I can't describe it. It's one thing to buy a homemade a clay pot that somebody else has made, but it's another thing altogether when you do it yourself, because you're connecting with that creative, that right brain part of you, which gets you in the flow state. So that's point 2. Point 3, don't overthink things. Get in action. Point 4, call in the guides. Get your connection to the spirit realms, which we all have. That will help you as well. And number 5, get sun exposure every day. We're energetic beings, and the sun is our source of energy. And finally, point 6, immerse yourself in nature. Nature is the best cure. The wind through the leaves of the trees. The trees know. that immersing yourself in nature is the way to calm your nervous system down, for you to feel at peace and on purpose. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for joining me today. Much love. See you in the next one. Bye for now.